subscribe.
Out of your fat asses, because you got some fat asses.
We interrupt this program to bring you.
Well, welcome back to Strong Mid-Card Podcast, right here on the Strong Mid-Card channel. Hey, it's a one-man show today, man. Roger's feeling a little bit under the weather, but don't worry. It's just, his allergies, and then he caught a cold, and he's just playing it safe. He's staying at home and doing good, man. So we're gonna try to do like a simulcast today, but we can't get our freaking Skypes or Zooms going. So I said, don't worry, man, just go relax. I'll take care of this. So obviously, let's get right into the biggest news of the year, man, and probably in the last, decade or so. This COVID-19, this coronavirus, really affecting not only people in their daily lives and all that, but also just sports in general. I mean, baseball, I think, might be delayed, or maybe gone. Basketball's canceled. A lot more players popping up positive, like Kevin Durant and big names like that, man. So it's it's a scary time. It's a time to be very vigilant and be very sanitize, I guess, clean up, or very clean, I should say. Hockey, I believe, is following suit. Pretty much all the major sports, except, of course, for our favorite of sports or sports entertainment, pro wrestling, and that's what this podcast is about. It's pro wrestling, so we'll keep it to that and not try to get too, pulled off to other different subjects about this whole matter. So I'll try to keep it pro wrestling related, man. So let's get right into the big news, which is WWE and their whole WrestleMania 36 fiasco or mess and all that's going on, man. And it's usually when WWF has a big mess like this, it's usually of their own fault, but this time it's actually not their fault. It's it's worldwide pandemic, and what can you do, right? So WrestleMania 36 being the biggest event of the year, the Super Bowl, if you will, of sports entertainment and wrestling, and now it has to be, take it away from Tampa and move to the Performance Center for a 2-night gig. I don't know how you guys feel about that. For one, they're to be commended for at least trying to put something on, and many people want them to cancel it and move it, to late summer and kind of combine it with WrestleMania and just do one big show. The positives on that one would be that they get kind of take these feuds that they have now that seem kind of scrapped together pretty last minute and build upon them, or but the one thing is that, do WWE fans have patience for long drawn out storylines, and can the WWE and their writing team that has shown that they have no patience, or the head person in charge, Vince McMahon, has no patience for long storylines? Could they stretch it out to late August or something like that? And that's a big hurdle for them, because they haven't done that in such a long time. And when they do decide to go a long storyline, it usually loses steam about halfway and it just peters out. So who knows if they can do that, or if they would do that. I'm hearing Madison Square Garden maybe in June, which I guess would be good if everything's calms down to a point where they can actually have a live show. That would be good for them and their business. I know New York and Madison Square Garden, that's like the home base for WWE, and especially WrestleMania. That would be huge for them. But a lot of people are maybe saying that WWE maybe kind of set this up to where it's showing that they're having a show at least, and then when they get axed by whoever, Florida or Orlando, I'm sorry, now they have a reason to say, hey, well, we're pushing it to June or something like that. But I mean, who knows? I mean, because you lose a lot of money. That's a lot of money being lost, merchandise-wise and ticket sales-wise and all that, to be kind of, and then I'm also reading that a lot of these matches are just going to be taped over the next few weeks, which is going to kind of, it already lost its feel of the big WrestleMania feel. This is, I think, now that's out, it's going to lose even more steam. It's almost like watching just like an episodic TV show. I know that's what they try to be and claim to be, but it's live every week. But now it's it's going to literally be an episodic like TV show. It's going to, I don't know, man. I find it kind of weird. Like their empty arena shows have been less than stellar, I guess you could say. And that's another thing, is you can add like a crowd, but then are you now, the WWE being very prideful would they be okay with kind of looking like they're copying AEW and what AEW did, which put on a fantastic show with all the circumstances that are going on right now, put on a fantastic show. With WWE, with their ego, let them just go ahead and go with a minor crowd of other superstars or enhancement talents and that kind of stuff, and actually showing them in the crowd and stuff, and people going like, well, that's what AEW did, and we can't have that. I, for one, think that they should just say screw that and have some kind of, like, the performers being in the crowd is a great idea. I don't see why not. I mean, every promotion that's still going on should probably do something like that, man. It's just like putting an indie show for your homies, for your friends. I wouldn't be so against that, but will WWE do something like that? And then plus, you're going to be recording matches like Reigns and Goldberg. On the one hand, if you're recording it, you can actually stretch that match out now. That doesn't have to be like this 5-minute Goldberg type of match. I mean, the match live was going to suck anyway. Let's just be real. Roman is pretty decent now in the ring, but he's not a ring general. Like, you need somebody good to dance with to put on a good match. AJ Styles and those matches like that he had that are great. Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and those kind of guys that have helped carry him to great matches. Goldberg is not that guy. So, it's asking a lot of Roman, who's, as for, like I said, ring generalship isn't maybe, up to par with some of the greatest of all time. To be, so it would have to be like a 4 to 5 minute match. But now that you're recording it, you can record spots. I mean, it's going to look fake as hell, but I mean, I guess, take 1, take 2 when you record those kind of matches. Fiend and Cena match, I'm not too worried about that one. Those two they're pros. They can put on a tell a good story. And then the Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre match. This is the one that I'm kind of focusing on, because when a guy gets coronated and gets the big push, you need that crowd pop, man. So this one's going to be difficult. So it kind of leads me to believe that maybe Drew's not going to win at WrestleMania, and maybe he'll win at the summer event, so we can get that pop, that moment that WWE loves, the moment, that one little moment thing, and then they can just let his reign as champion die and peter out like every other guy that isn't Brock Lesnar. So I don't know what to expect for this WrestleMania 36. I know I'm not gonna watch it. I'll probably watch it later. I didn't watch last year's WrestleMania. I'm just really kind of how do I say? I'm burnt out on WWE just because everything is so, I don't know, man. It just feels so fake. I know the saying fake for pro wrestling is kind of weird, but it just feels forced. It feels fake. It doesn't feel genuine, especially now that with like AEW just kind of running, great shows lately the last couple of months. And then your alternative is you turn on SmackDown and you're like, really? This is no. It kind of sours you on SmackDown and Raw. NXT, it's for me, it's hanging in there now. It was a must watch when the Wednesday Night War started, and now I'm just kind of like I'll catch it 2-3 days later now. I know the last week it was an actual show, so I mean that'll be okay. So hopefully, I don't know. I like NXT too, man. I'm hoping that they get the ball rolling so that way Wednesday is must watch for both NXT and AEW, because right now AEW is kind of ruling the landscape as far as wrestling goes till New Japan gets going in their championship summer season, and who knows, the Japanese scene is, I think, on shutdown too, and they're doing empty arena shows too. So I don't have too much information on them, but hopefully we'll hear something soon. Hopefully they'll get it going, because I think their next big show would be Dominion, or I think they had a US show too lined up. So who knows if that's even going to happen anymore. Moving on, AEW had a great show. That's how you do an empty arena show, or that's how you do a show like that. It's pretty much, like I said, an indie show for your buddies, and that's what it felt like. It was fun. They did great camera work to kind of still make it feel intimate, but exciting, and move the storylines along. It was great. There were great moments. MJF and Sean Spears showing off their comedic timing was fantastic. Jake Snake was there. The matches were pretty good. Setting up for future stuff. Of course, was it Chucky T or Trent saying the next Dynamite, which was pretty funny. Not next week, but the next Dynamite. So, but all the matches were fun. Even the women's match, I know people were kind of down on it, but that kind of match spotlights what I've been saying all along, that the girls from Japan are just leaps and bounds ahead of these other girls. Penelope Ford, I know they were banking big on her, but she's kind of like a spot chick. She's not like I don't see her pulling off a match, at least not yet. And Statlander, man, it's like with every match after her first like 3 matches there, where everybody was just give the title to her, give her the championship, screw Riho. And then you just see how much more she is exposed, and you see how green she really is. And it's just like they gotta kind of slow down on her now, man. Because I mean, Riho's ready; she can put on a great match with anybody. Just a great baby face under the underdog, perfectly. And Sheeta is probably the best that they have, I would say. Beat Priestley the last match she had. She looked pretty good, but and Britt Baker's, I think. Promo work is great. That's probably what's getting her over. Her matches are still not very good, but at least her character's working and she's getting some heat, so it kind of works together. I think she's coming along. She'll get there. It looks like she's trying to get better, so that's good. She's not just resting on her promo work, which is very good. If her ring work can match up to her promo work, you have a superstar, the one that they thought they had from the beginning. So Nyla Rose, the champion. I don't know what you do with that. She has to have. I would have to feel that she has to have some kind of long reign, or longer reign that she's getting now. Has she defended it yet? I don't think so. Sheeta, it's safe to beat her now because she can always come back. People love her and she does great work in the ring. And she's shown that she can hang with Nyla, slam her, and go power for power, which is good. Statlander, you can wait on, like all these other girls that you can kind of wait on. I mean, Big Swole's coming along. She's doing great mic work too, personality work too. She gets the crowd hype, man. And I think that's the thing, is that the AEW crowd, when it comes to the female division, everybody notices that, yeah, they're a little green, or they're catching up, but everybody is so supportive, and most of the time the crowd is very positive. And I always listen to other podcasts, and they're negative about that aspect. It's like, oh, that's the crowd just being nice and being polite. It's like, yeah, that's a crowd that's into the promotion, and they're into what's going on in the ring, and they want to support these girls, and they want to show, like, hey, you don't have to be nervous. You're around people that want you to do well. That's a good thing. I don't know. I think we're just so much focused on being like smarks and calling out people for botches and all that kind of shit so much that it kind of overtakes stuff like this. So, I mean, to me, I enjoy watching a different women's division. So, because I watch a lot of Stardom too. So when I see like Riho or Sheeta or Bea Priestley, and I can just see how much more advanced they are, like Emi Sakura and those kind of performers from Japan, Yuka, sorry. And then you watch the other girls and see like their American style, and it's just, man, it's very apparent. So there's a lot of catching up to do, but it's a new promotion. They'll get there. They'll be fine. Blood and Guts is off officially now. I just read it on my Instagram from AEW Instagram, the message sent by Tony Khan. So it's going to be moved further along, but it sounds like they're going to be doing shows weekly, or they're going to be trying, unless they are forced not to do it. But at least we're going to have something, right? Blood and Guts, it's coming. So that's something to look forward to in the future. Maybe it gets pushed to the end of the year type of match, like fall, like the way War Games is supposed to be. So we'll see, man. Like I said, the AEW show was great. Cody kind of mixing in real life with the storyline was also pretty cool. Didn't expect that. I thought he was just going to do the whole kind of rally the troops thing, and he only focused on what's going on now. He didn't really call it out by name or anything like that, but he just kind of said, hey, you realize how small you really are in this big world, that kind of stuff, and then brought everybody out and set up the match for later on that night, and it was fantastic. So fantastic work by AEW, man. So we'll see where they go. What else have we got here? I know there's a bunch of Ring of Honor shows that I believe were canceled or maybe postponed. Just the effect that this has on the indie wrestling promotions, it's sad, man, because a lot of these guys, they perform however many times a week, different promotions up and down the country, and then even internationally. That's how they make their living, and a lot of these things are getting canceled. And but it's also on the other side. You get to see, like, if you're on Twitter, you follow a lot of people on Instagram, you get to see the promotions, the other wrestlers kind of, promoting their friends and their promotions, saying, hey, go out there and buy a t-shirt. Hey, go to Patreon, or hey, just different ways to get money to a lot of these guys who are losing out on a lot of money. And that's a positive to take, at least, man. If you love the sport, go out there and buy a t-shirt, go to, Pro Wrestling Tees or wherever you can get them, or their website of like the big cartels and the Teesprings and all that stuff. and just help along, man, because it's going to be a tough time for not only you personally, obviously, people being stuck at home, and a lot of these performers, not being able to work. I'm sure some of them have day jobs, and this is their secondary, but a lot of them, this is solely what they do. So hopefully we get this all squared away, man, because this is gonna be, this is a weird time, because nobody, the unknown is always so scary. We don't know what's gonna happen. When you usually have like a flu outbreak or something like that, people like to say, "Oh, wait till the summer hits, or 3 or 4 months." But this one, there really is no time frame, and we can say that just to kind of be hopeful, and with everybody kind of doing what they have to do, and doing their part, staying home, avoiding contact, shaking hands, avoiding what is it, stainless steel that the virus hangs in for like 3 days, I think they said, and that's tough if you're going to work, going straight home, washing your hands, just being sanitized, just being clean. If everybody does that, then maybe we can get through it. Maybe I think they're predicting if everybody does everything right, end of summer, early fall. So hopefully, man, then everything gets back to normal sports wise. Every promotion can get up and running again. The thing for AEW, I think it's this because they're picking up so much momentum, so it's hard it sucks for them because they're building up. They have so many cool things planned, and a lot of that stuff has to get reworked. So I mean, hopefully, but I think the fan base is there, and it's going to be there. They're going to want it even more now, I believe. For WWE, maybe you can look at this as a new beginning. It's they've been fumbling a lot of stuff. Storylines, just build up to cards. The Saudi Arabia thing really gets in the way of building up other stuff because they're so focused on just getting a show there, getting their money, and getting out. But with this, it's almost like a reset button. I mean, they do it so often where they just kill storylines and don't ever explain it. Why not do it now? Why not, or even improve? Maybe your weekly shows can be like storyline driven to get people more pumped up about what's going to happen to WrestleMania matches, that kind of stuff, or build up your roster. Maybe kind of showcase and do vignettes of some of the guys that maybe want to have a new character or something. Like a reset button on a lot of guys that maybe their character has fallen short, like Shorty G, reintroducing people, maybe kind of redo Bailey's whole heel character, because she's kind of going into angry soccer mom mode. Give the Fiend, just build him back up, man, because that's one I think that they fumbled on because they wanted this short-term thing to try to coronate Roman Reigns again, and then maybe this is a positive, man. Maybe you won't get the end of WrestleMania being Roman Reigns getting booed, but I don't know, man. Like, maybe they can do the reset button. That'll be cool for them. I think they have obviously the resources, the biggest company in the world. They have enough money where they hire writers. They have writers for their shows, and it's really they're writing for one guy, and his XFL is gone for the rest of the season, so maybe he could put his focus back on his shitty programming to get everybody back, win everybody back, kind of in good faith. Put out there some good programming for SmackDown, for Raw, and maybe for NXT if you feel like you can't put on a regular weekly wrestling show. Maybe you can do something to build up your characters again, but we shall see. Well, guys, I think that's it for this week. I just kind of wanted to touch on what's going on, and I didn't want to go too long without doing something, but the news is all out there, man. Whatever website and whatever podcast you guys follow, just let's all support each other. Listen to to every show that you want to listen to. Try listening to some new ones. If you're new to this, thank you very much. If you're listening to this, we try to do video podcasts, but a lot of the times we kind of get sidetracked with the other channel and just work and life, pretty much. So the audio is the quickest and fastest thing that we can put up there. So thank you if you've been sticking around the Strong Midcard channel for a long time. We're gonna have more reactions to stuff, matches, botches and that kind of stuff coming probably in the next couple of weeks. Not just these audio only podcasts, but like I said, thank you guys, like I said before. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this week, man. Like I said, support each other, support the podcast, support each other's podcasts, support each other's wrestling channels, and we'll catch you guys next time on Strong Midcard Podcast. Have a good weekend. Bye.